What's going on, guys? Colton here with Twig and Timber Outdoors and Lucky Tackle Box, here to show you some tips and tricks on how to catch river bass on the fly when the water is high, murky, muddy, or the flow is just crazy for the river you're fishing. So one of the things I want to talk about is I like to use a 7-weight or an 8-weight fast action rod typically. But when I'm throwing weight, like sink tip or shooting heads or versaleaders, I actually like to go to a medium fast, or like almost like a mid-flex rod. Reason being is they're a little more forgiving when you're casting and you're waiting for that weight to hit in the back or in the forward cast. So I like a mid-flex rod for that. For bass, 9-foot is perfectly fine, and I like a reel that will just hold the capacity line that I like to fish. So in this case, I'm going to fish a 7-weight line with about 3 to 5 foot of T11 and a versaleader or poly leader that will get my flies down, and possibly even fish a fly that has something a little heavier, so like either a cone head or even more so like a sculpin head. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be looking for some reprieve, because whenever fish are in a system where it's kind of blown out, this goes for most fish, they like to find an area where it's not that difficult to swim, whether that's in deep pockets, on structure, in back eddies. Most fish will find those areas to be quite satisfying whenever they're trying to survive, especially whenever, for example, I'm fishing a dam right here that is constantly raised and lowered. So that's what I'm going to be doing for you guys today. And then, putting yourself in a predicaments or situations where you can find fish quickly is another advantage. And I'll show you one way I'm going to do that to find fish quickly whenever I'm not sure where they're going to be. So hopefully you guys like the video. Give the video a thumbs up to start, and stay tuned, and hopefully we can catch some smallmouth, some largemouth, whatever we can find in the river for you. So tight lines. Basically what I'm doing is keep my rod tip low as I can to the water, and what this does is it prevents my fly from coming up unnecessarily. And by doing that, making a variation of different types of strips by stripping in the line like so. Okay, you can do like a strip, strip, pause, strip, strip, pause. You can kind of short little micro strips. I do not recommend your line touching the ground here. This is an extra line I have that I have specifically meant for beating up around these here urban banks. And by doing this, what I'm basically doing is allowing that fly to stay down, because I'm using sinking material, and putting it right in front of the fish's face, essentially. I'm picking rock piles and different areas of reprieve from this heavier current. And what I'll do is when I cast it out there, if I want it to get a little deeper, I'll let that line sit out there, because the line naturally wants to sink, because it's a sinking line or sinking head. And if I let it sit a little longer, there's a fish. If I let it sit out there a little longer, what it wants to do is it'll sink and swing in the current. And when it does that, it often gets deeper and stays in the strike zone a little longer. See you, little buddy. So, therefore, you can hit multiple layers of the water column doing that, or if you don't feel like you're getting deep enough, then you may wish to consider letting it sink out there a little longer, throwing a mend or so in there, letting it get down to a fish. Another one. See ya. Now, in murky water like this, a lot of guys like to throw chartreuse. I personally like to throw like a black and a red. Black and red together with a little bit of flash in there. Customize it if you'd like, but that usually gets it done for me. The water's kind of like a greenish stain, not quite chocolate milk, but water clarity for me is kind of on the low end. But for the fish, they can see fairly well. So I'm gonna be fishing a black and red to start, and hopefully that does the trick for us on some fish. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot where I feel like I'm providing the bass with some relief from the heavy, muddy current. I know it's heavy, or I know that the water is going to provide, but they want to go to a place that's easier to swim. And so what I'm going to be doing is finding a spot like a back eddy or a break or along a break wall, and I'm going to be probably fishing this a little slower because with a heavier current, these flies have a better ability to move and make, undulate and do the motions that you normally want out of the material to tide with. So right now what I've got set up is there's a nice little main current stream right here, and there's a riffle down below. There's a set of rocks below me. So I'm going to cast up into that current a little bit, see if I can't catch any bigger fish who are okay in the current. Let it swing down towards the riffle there. Maybe catch a couple fish that are hanging out, and then catch fish that are getting knocked out, bait fish that get pushed down there. And then I'll strip the line back in past these rocks and above these rocks, catching fish who are using the rocks to basically take a break. And by doing that, I'm going to find where these fish are located best. By doing that, I'll be able to find a spot that's similar to this one. Wanting this black and red, I can tell you that. Alright. Downsize the fly. Put a lot more. Put about 2 extra foot of T11 on. I'm gonna shoot like a monster. And just gonna see if I can pick up anything, regardless of species. Fishing in about, 10 foot of water right now. I don't know what that was, if that was a fish or not, but give it some time to sink. There's a couple runs over here we're going to swing near too. Yeah, there we go. Nice little smallie. See if I can't find a slightly bigger one there. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that's much better. That's actually a largemouth. No way. As you can see, so fish after fish after fish. Basically all I'm doing is, when the water's high like this, I find spots of reprieve for these fish. So, for example, it could be a back eddy, it could be a rock pile, it could be stones. And what I'm doing is I'm getting enough weight on my line, so it's a sinking line, but enough sinking to it to allow it to get down. I just happen to have about 5 foot of T11 plus a Versaleader with a fly with a cone head on it. It's about 10 foot of water, really stained. It's a black and red little 1.5 inch streamer. And I mean, have I caught bigger fish here before? Sure. Is it any more fun than catching a ton of these fish because I decide to downsize my fly? That's for you to make the decision. But remember that fly fishing isn't just about catching trout all the time. Fly fishing can be about catching pike, muskie, steelhead, a bunch of salt species, and then lastly bass. As you can see here, I caught a nice smallmouth, a nice largemouth, and a couple of other little guys too, just by finding some rock piles, finding the reprieve from the current on this high muddy water days, and by finding what size imitations I need to get down. Remember, the bigger the imitation, the harder it is to get down in front of the fish's mouth. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the other videos in the playlist. And until next time, guys, catch you guys on the flip side. Tight lines, and we're out.